Hello, and welcome to your favorite YouTube channel, Be the True Rich. My name is Michael. If this is your first time here, please like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell to get notifications when I post my new videos. Thank you. Today is the second episode on the series, The Gospel of the True Rich. The first episode, I talked about money and how the rich make money work hard for them and brings money for them. Today we're going to be talking about the reason behind financial literacy. Why teach financial literacy? Why not just let things be? Why are we so concerned about educating people about financial literacy? Why are we so concerned about making people more financially intelligent? That's a question I'm going to be answering here today, very briefly. Now, the first reason is we want you to be sure at the end of the day to work for yourself and keep the money for yourself. Like Robert Kiyosaki would say, it doesn't matter how much you make. What matters is how much you keep. How much is your own at the end of the day? So why work so hard all your life and at the end of the day the money is not yours? In fact, first, who are you working for? Because a lot of people think they're working to earn for themselves. But in truth, they're working for the government, they're working for their boss, and thirdly, they're working for the banks. So I know you're wondering, like, oh, I'm a private sector worker. I don't work for the government. Is that what you think? Is that what they've made you believe? Now, the fault here is because we're not taught these things in school to have a clearer picture. Financial literacy is not taken in our schools. We're not educated on financial literacy. So it just hits us at the point in our life when we're working so hard and we're wondering why we are going below. We're becoming poor, despite the fact we're working hard. It is because, first off, we're not working for ourselves. In quote, the poor are not working for themselves. Now, when I use the word the poor, I don't mean the ones who never had an opportunity to have a six-digit job or have the opportunity to live a modern life in the rural areas there. I'm not talking of those people. Those people are not opportuned. They don't have the opportunity you have. I'm talking to you who is driving a Bentley today. I'm talking to you who's driving a Rolls Royce. I'm talking to you who earns 6, 7, 8 figures. You're the one I'm talking to.
Get the best deals on all items on spree.africa. Shop now.
You're the one I'm referring to as the poor. Because most of you are poor. And deep down, you know it. It hasn't just dawned on you, but yes, deep down, inside there, you know that you're in financial crisis. Because every day you sink. Like I said in my last video, instead of you to feel freedom with your security you have in your job, you're still feeling more afraid than you were. Like Robert would say, the most secure place in this life is a prison. So when you're going for job security, it means you forgo financial freedom. So job security does not guarantee you financial freedom and would never take you to that place where you're financially free. They're two different places. They're two different worlds. The more money you make in the e-quadrant as an employee, the more afraid you are. Because you're scared of losing your job and your house of cards goes crumbling. Now, I just thought to hint that each time I'm talking about the poor, I'm not talking of those ones who never had the opportunity to work in corporate organizations and earn big and live the flashy life. And no, I'm not talking of those people. When I say the poor, I mean you who today is like you're on top of the world. But deep down, you know that there's something wrong. So I'm here to point out those things that are wrong and redirect your focus so that you would, at the end of the day, help yourself to become rich. Become rich. So first off, like I was saying, who are you working for? Are you working for the government? Now, a lot of people think that their greatest expense is on food. No, it's on taxes. It's so funny that people are very comfortable working all their lives. But meanwhile, the government gets paid first. Because if you're working in an organization, the first person to get paid is the government. You beat the early hours, you do the 9 to, in Nigeria, it's almost 9 to 9. And for some people, they go to work midnight and come back midnight, and the circle just keeps on going that way. It just keeps on rotating that way. So you do all that. Before your paycheck arrives, the government gets paid tax. Pay tax. So before whatever gets to you, the government has already claimed theirs with full chest, according to my people. Full chest. They've taken their own. Then whatever is remaining is what they will now deduct what they need to deduct on the other side and give you what is yours. So let's say your pay tax of 30,000 naira is 3,000 naira. It means that the government receives 3,000 naira first. Then the 27,000, your late, absent, and whatever penalty panel and you're facing, they will now deduct it from it. So I hope you're getting the picture. So the government gets paid. So directly or indirectly, you're working for the government. Now you come out into the street, consumption tax, and the rest of them, it keeps going. So you're working for the government. Now, is it the same for the rich? Are you under the same tax bracket? Does the rich get paid first or the government? For the rich gets paid first before the government. After the rich has covered their expenses as a rich person in that tax bracket, it is then you pay the government the tax, their own tax. So that's one very big difference. The poor are working first for the government, even before themselves, but they don't see it that way. While the rich are working first for themselves before the government. Now, secondly, your boss. Because each time, to every excellent job you do in an organization, of which that is what you should do, you shouldn't do less. Don't ever do less. You're there to render excellent service. Of course, of which you know, if you render less than excellent, you're out of the door. To every excellent service you render, it is a plus to your boss. So before you receive your salary, your boss has already gotten theirs by means of growing the company. So to every excellent service, you're growing the company. So you're building somebody else's dream. You're building somebody else's ambition, somebody else's focus, somebody else's future. And you're in that company liquid. And of which, once anything happens, the next thing you sing the same song, you'll sing every time. I need to get another job. I need to look for another job. I'm in the market for another job. That is why Robert Kiyosaki warns that money is a drug. Be careful where you get your money from. Because if you're a builder and you run into some money problems, or you lose the project you're working on, or you lose what you're building at the point, what you do next is go to build another one. But if all you do is job, the minute you lose a job, you're onto another job, and the same cycle keeps going on. You keep paying the government, paying your boss, and of course the banks. So we're trying to make you see and understand why you need to be financially literate. Because that of the government doesn't end when your job ends, no. Because when you begin to receive your pension, you also first pay tax. You also pay tax. You can't avoid it. You're always paying the government, always, because you have a pension plan. Does the rich have pension plans? The answer is actually no. And if they do, it is for some tax breaks, for some technical reasons, but they do not depend on a pension plan to live and survive. Thirdly, the banks. How do you pay the banks? So your money, your 27,000 gets to you after the government has taken their 3,000 naira pay tax, and let's say in the month there are no penalties, no abnormalities, so you're not deducted by your boss. Okay, and you have your 27,000. What the poor people logically do is to go and slip the money. They take the money straight to the bank. In fact, in some cases, it is a mandate on their account that the money directly goes to the bank to save. So you're working to help the banks gather money for investment. So you don't know what to do with money, but the banks you're giving your money to save your money are not even saving your money. They are using your money for business. And because they can, they have the power to every dollar you save, they have the power to print or loan out 9 extra because of the fractional reserve ratio on your money. And at the end of the day, they give you pittance, or rather, they promise you pittance back in return on your savings, of which most of the time, you don't even receive it. By the time they will take out all their charges, cleaning charges, washing charges, ATM cleaning charges, account washing charges, and whatever, to the extent a bank sends you a birthday message, they are charging you for it. Happy New Year, they charge you for it. Merry Christmas, you are being charged for it. Independence, you're being charged for it. Any message, text message the bank sends you, they are charging you for it. Even to celebrate your own birthday, the bank is charging you. And you are happy. So now you see where all your money goes at the end of the day. Then inflation hits your money hard. By the time your money is coming back to you as your money, the value has almost depleted. The rich work for themselves. The poor works for every other person but themselves. You can see it anyway. And sometimes you pay the banks in the form of mortgage. And the most painful part is at the end of the day, most people don't own the houses they paid all their life for. Because by the time you're retiring, If you've not finished paying it, you may have no other means. Or the taxes on the liability house you are building, or the liability house you are paying for. Like I said, liability takes money from your pocket. Assets put money in your pocket. So the same item can be an asset or a liability. So if your house is for you to live in, it is not an asset. It is a liability. Tell yourself the truth. So you're working all your life. The government takes its own part. You're making your boss richer, achieve more. Thank you very much. Very good worker. The third thing is the banks. So, and they have a way of loaning you to be able to afford that mortgage. And they take back their money. And if at the end of the day you're unable to pay it off, they foreclose your property. They take over. It's automatic. They take over. And you start wondering, oh, I've been living here for the past 15 years. Is there nothing I can do? There's nothing you can do but to move and go to a rented apartment. Because in truth, it was never your own. And it's very likely that the person that sold you the idea is no longer working in the bank. They've retired and facing their own. Are you with me? So that is why we are coming to educate you. So that at the end of the day, you end up working and paying yourself. If possible, 100%. And like I always say, it doesn't matter really what quadrant you operate. You can be operating in the E quadrant and still become rich by investing in the I quadrant or operating in the B quadrant as well. The difference is financial intelligence. And of course, intelligence is your ability to solve problems. So there are money problems. No matter how big you are or how small you are, you never ever escape money problems. Money problems are always there. Money problem for one person may be 10,000, another person may be 10 million, another person may be 100 million, another person may be 1 billion. But they are money problems. So the way you handle it is what differs. And the crybaby in us, the minute we keep listening to it and keep doing the same thing, like I explained in my previous video, you keep going back, even though you don't like, even though you don't enjoy what you're doing. It doesn't only affect those in the E quadrant. I know some S quadrant people that are also very tired and unhappy with what they're doing. They work all their life. They work all their life and they are not happy, but they do not know how to expand, how to break it out and make it a B. So I'm sure at the end of this video, you get the point. Why would a rich person want you to be financially intelligent? Why would a rich person not just let you be? You know, some say, leave me alone. I don't live my life. I'm living my life. I don't care. Whatever happens. No. You need to, at the end of the day, make sure you're making the money. Don't come and pay everybody and you don't pay yourself. You should be the first person to be paid. In my subsequent videos, we'll talk about it so that you can see, you have a broader view of the whole thing. Take your time and think. If you feel you need a change in your life, my phone number is always on the screen. My email is always on the screen. Contact me, book a session, and let's talk. Let's talk. Let's change the conversation. And I bet you're going to become rich. You're definitely going to become rich. Thanks for watching this video. If this is your first time here, please like, share, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at @BeTheTrueRich and on Twitter at @BeTheTrueRich. Thank you. Bye-bye.
No more worries over grocery items. Get your items delivered to your doorstep in 24 hours. Shop now on Spree.Africa.